Once upon a time, there was a village deeply embedded in the heart of Liberia's rainforest called Nyango. Known for its rich traditions, the village was a place where folklore and reality often intertwined. The villagers lived in harmony with the natural world, cherishing their rich culture and traditions. Festivals were a common occurrence, celebrating everything from the harvest to the rain. The village was vibrant with colors, sounds, and the laughter of children. But amidst the peace and joy, there was a mystery that had captivated the village for many years. It was the mystery of a young girl named Bendu, who was born under extraordinary circumstances and possessed an unusual connection to snakes. Bendu was born on a night when the full moon shone brightly over Nyango. Her mother, Amina, had felt the pains of labor just as the moon reached its peak. The villagers gathered outside the hut, their curiosity and anticipation mixed with a sense of unease. As Amina gave birth, a large snake slithered silently into the hut, its scales glistening in the moonlight. The midwives gasped in fear, but the snake did not harm anyone. Instead, it coiled protectively around the newborn Bendu, hissing softly as if to comfort her. This unusual event set the stage for the many mysteries and adventures that Bendu would encounter in her life. Bendu grew up under the watchful eyes of the villagers, who were both fascinated and fearful of her connection to snakes. From a young age, Bendu exhibited an unusual ability to communicate with these creatures. She could understand their movements, their sounds, and even their emotions. Snakes would often be found around her, acting as her protectors and companions. Despite the villagers' apprehensions, Bendu was a kind and curious child. She had a love for nature and spent her days exploring the rainforest, learning about the plants and animals that thrived there. Her best friend, Amara, was always by her side. Amara was brave and loyal, never afraid to venture into the unknown with Bendu. One day, while playing near the edge of the village, Bendu and Amara stumbled upon a hidden clearing in the forest. The clearing was bathed in an eerie, otherworldly light. At the center lay a giant snake, its scales shimmering like precious gems. Instead of fear, Bendu felt a strong pull towards the creature. The snake spoke to her in a language she instinctively understood, revealing that she was destined for a great purpose. When Bendu shared her experience with the villagers, their fear and suspicion grew. Chief Jala, the village leader, was particularly concerned. He feared that Bendu's powers were a curse that would bring misfortune to Nyango. However, Elder Pui, the wise village elder, saw potential in Bendu. He believed that her connection to snakes was a gift and decided to take her under his wing, hoping to uncover the truth behind her abilities. Elder Pui was known for his wisdom and knowledge of the land. He had spent many years studying the mysteries of the rainforest and the ancient traditions of their ancestors. He took Bendu as his apprentice, teaching her about the history of their village, the medicinal properties of plants, and the legends of the spirit snake. The spirit snake was a legendary entity, believed to possess great wisdom and power. It was said to reside in the ancient caves beyond the village, guarding secrets that had been passed down through generations. Elder Pui believed that the spirit snake held the key to understanding Bendu's powers and her destiny. Under Elder Pui's guidance, Bendu learned to harness her abilities. She practiced communicating with snakes, using her powers to heal injured animals and protect the village from potential dangers. Amara often joined them, eager to learn and support her friend. As Bendu's training progressed, she began to have visions. These visions were vivid and filled with images of a dark force threatening the village. She saw crops withering overnight, animals disappearing, and an ominous mist enveloping Nyango. Bendu knew that these visions were a warning of things to come. One morning, as the villagers went about their daily routines, they noticed that the crops in the fields had withered overnight. The once green and thriving plants were now dry and lifeless. The villagers were alarmed and turned to Chief Jala for answers. Chief Jala called a council meeting, inviting the village elders and other important figures to discuss the situation. The meeting was held in the village square, where a large fire burned in the center, casting flickering shadows on the faces of the gathered villagers. Elder Pui spoke up, sharing his belief that the village was facing an ancient evil that had been awakened. He explained that Bendu had been having visions and that her connection to snakes might be the key to understanding and combating this threat. Chief Jala was skeptical, fearing that Bendu's powers were the cause of their misfortune. Despite the tension, Bendu remained determined to find answers. With Amara by her side, she decided to seek out the spirit snake. She believed that the spirit snake could provide the knowledge and guidance needed to protect the village from the impending danger. Bendu and Amara prepared for their journey to the ancient caves. They gathered supplies, including food, water, and simple tools, and set out early one morning. Elder Pui gave them his blessing and provided them with a map that would guide them through the dense rainforest. The journey was long and arduous, filled with challenges and dangers. The rainforest was alive with the sounds of birds, insects, and other creatures. Bendu and Amara encountered various obstacles, including treacherous terrain, wild animals, and unpredictable weather. Throughout their journey, Bendu's connection to snakes proved invaluable. Snakes guided them through the forest, warning them of dangers and helping them find safe paths. Bendu also used her powers to communicate with other animals, asking for their assistance and gaining their trust. As they ventured deeper into the forest, Bendu and Amara discovered hidden wonders. They came across ancient ruins covered in vines, remnants of a long-lost civilization. They also found sacred sites where the villagers once performed rituals and ceremonies to honor their ancestors. One night, as they rested by a small stream, Bendu had a vision. She saw the spirit snake, its eyes glowing with wisdom and power. The spirit snake spoke to her, telling her that the ancient evil was growing stronger and that time was running out. Bendu knew they had to reach the caves soon. After several days of travel, Bendu and Amara finally reached the entrance to the ancient caves. The entrance was marked by large stone pillars covered in intricate carvings and symbols. The air was cool and damp, and a sense of mystery hung in the air. With a deep breath, Bendu and Amara entered the caves. They followed the winding tunnels, their footsteps echoing in the darkness. The walls of the caves were adorned with ancient drawings and inscriptions, telling the stories of their ancestors and the legends of the spirit snake. As they ventured deeper into the caves, they reached a large cavern illuminated by a soft, ethereal light. In the center of the cavern lay the spirit snake, a colossal serpent with scales that shimmered like precious gems. Its eyes glowed with an ancient wisdom, and it radiated a powerful, mystical energy. Bendu approached the spirit snake, feeling a deep connection and respect for the majestic creature. The spirit snake spoke to her in a voice that resonated through the cavern, revealing the truth about her heritage and the ancient evil that threatened the village. The spirit snake explained that Bendu was the last of a lineage of guardians chosen to protect the village from the dark force. This force had been sealed away long ago, but recent events had weakened the seal, allowing the evil to awaken. The spirit snake bestowed upon Bendu the knowledge and power needed to confront this threat. Bendu learned that the evil entity was responsible for the recent misfortunes in the village. It had the power to manipulate nature and spread fear and destruction. Bendu realized that she had to act quickly to save her home and her people. Armed with newfound wisdom and strength, Bendu and Amara made their way back to Nyango. The journey back was just as challenging as the journey to the caves, but Bendu felt more confident and determined than ever. She knew that she had a responsibility to protect her village and fulfill her destiny as a guardian. When they returned to Nyango, the villagers were surprised to see them. Many had feared that Bendu and Amara would never return. Chief Jala was still skeptical, but Elder Pui welcomed them with open arms, eager to hear about their journey. Bendu shared the knowledge she had gained from the spirit snake, explaining the nature of the ancient evil and the steps they needed to take to protect the village. She described the rituals and ceremonies that their ancestors had performed to keep the evil at bay, and how they could strengthen the seal that held the dark force. The villagers listened intently, their fear turning into hope. They realized that Bendu's powers were not a curse, but a gift that could save them. Chief Jala, seeing the determination and strength in Bendu's eyes, decided to support her efforts. With the support of the villagers, Bendu and Elder Pui began preparations for the battle against the ancient evil. They gathered the necessary materials for the rituals and ceremonies, including sacred herbs, special stones, and ceremonial garments. Bendu and Amara, along with a group of trusted villagers, ventured into the forest to collect the items they needed. They visited sacred sites, gathering the plants and minerals that held mystical properties. Along the way, they encountered challenges, including wild animals and treacherous terrain, but their determination and teamwork helped them overcome these obstacles. As they prepared for the final battle, Bendu continued to practice her powers. She communicated with the snakes, asking for their assistance and guidance. The snakes, sensing the urgency of the situation, pledged their loyalty to Bendu and promised to help protect the village. Elder Pui conducted rituals to strengthen the villagers' spirits and unite them in their common goal. He reminded them of their ancestors' bravery and resilience, encouraging them to stand together and support Bendu in her mission. The day of the battle arrived, and a sense of tension and anticipation filled the air. The villagers gathered in the village square, where a large fire burned brightly. Bendu, dressed in ceremonial garments, stood at the center, surrounded by her friends and allies. The ancient evil manifested as a giant, fearsome serpent, its eyes glowing with malevolence. The ground trembled as it approached, and the air was filled with a dark, oppressive energy. The villagers watched in fear, but Bendu remained resolute. With the spirit snake's wisdom guiding her, Bendu confronted the ancient evil. She called upon her powers, communicating with the snakes and channeling their energy. The snakes rallied around her, forming a protective barrier and striking at the dark force. The battle was intense and fierce. Bendu and the ancient evil clashed, their powers colliding in a spectacular display of light and shadow. The villagers, led by Elder Pui and Chief Jala, supported Bendu with chants and rituals, strengthening her resolve. Amara, brave and loyal as ever, fought alongside Bendu, using her own skills and resourcefulness to aid in the battle. Together, they faced the ancient evil with unwavering determination. In the final moments of the battle, Bendu unleashed a powerful surge of energy, drawing upon the strength of her ancestors and the spirit snake. The ancient evil let out a deafening roar before dissipating into a dark mist, vanishing from the village forever. With the ancient evil defeated, peace returned to Nyango. The villagers cheered and celebrated, grateful for Bendu's bravery and strength. Chief Jala, who had once doubted Bendu, publicly acknowledged her as the village's protector and hero. Elder Pui, proud of Bendu's accomplishments, performed a ceremony to honor her and the spirit snake. The village held a grand festival, filled with music, dancing, and feasting. The atmosphere was joyous, and the bonds between the villagers were stronger than ever. Bendu, though exhausted, felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had embraced her destiny and protected her village from a great evil. She knew that her journey was not over and that she would continue to learn and grow as a guardian. Amara, standing by her side, promised to always support her and help protect their home. The two friends shared a moment of gratitude and reflection, knowing that their bond had been strengthened through their shared experiences. Bendu's story became a legend in Nyango, a tale passed down through generations. The villagers remembered her as the brave snake girl who had saved their home from an ancient evil. Her legacy inspired others to embrace their unique gifts and stand up for what they believed in. The spirit snake continued to watch over the village, a symbol of wisdom and protection. Bendu, now a respected guardian, continued to learn from Elder Pui and the natural world around her. She remained dedicated to her role, always ready to face new challenges and protect her beloved village.